Hello, I'm Joel Blackford with Prophecy Roundtable. Normally we have Scott on one side and Doug on the other side. It looks like Scott is driving through Atlanta right now, and Doug is doing some family time. So that's wonderful. You know me, I'm Joel Blackford. I've been here for a few months now, and we're going to be covering the Gog Magog War, which comes at the end of the 7 years, but everything's leading up to it. I want to show you the rhyming patterns that have gone through history and how we're going to cover basically 4,000 years of history in this action-packed session tonight. So bear with me, and we'll see if Scott comes on with me in a little bit here. I assume that he'll call in, but hopefully you can hear me. Would somebody please answer? Let's do it this way. Haman is part of the story, so write Haman and Boo if you can hear me. Hopefully you can hear me just fine. I know that we're live, and so hopefully you can see the screen properly too. So rather than checking in, let's see here. Maybe I should just check one more time and make sure that private chat. No. Um, Comments. Here we go. All right, let's see. No, I don't see any comments yet. So while we're live, and hopefully you can hear me, and hopefully everything is working out just fine. So the main thing is, again, I'm Joel Blackford, and I'm going to be covering this Israel versus first Gaza and now Iran war. And I'm saying that it's all related to a Purim war that's 4,000 years old. And so, oh, good. Somebody just checked in. And so thank you, Terry. Can you hear me? Would you write Haman and Boo? Okay, which is the typical Purim story. So, what I'm arguing tonight throughout all the rhyming patterns is that in every generation there's a Haman, a Haman, and a Hitler, there's a Gaza, there's a Khomeini, say from Iran. They're hoping to eradicate the Jews. And so, what I want you to be able to see is that this pattern, and I hear you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. So, basically, this pattern continues on and on and on. And the players are important. The players have moved over the last 4,000 years. Shalom to Elizabeth. So the main thing is these things are shifting constantly, but the players will play out. And let me switch it over to this screen. There we go. Whoop, too far. Okay. So basically, the problem right now is that Iran launched all of these weapons at Israel, but who funded this? Well, the two guys that were our presidents, Obama and Biden, funded cash settlements to Iran that paid for all the weaponry and all of their technology with drone technology. So this is a quote from CNN here. The wave of drones and missiles that flew towards Israel overnight on Sunday brought with it a new phase of tension, uncertainty, and confrontation in the Middle East. Iran launched the unprecedented attack in response to the suspected Israeli strike on the Iranian consulate in Damascus, where Israel killed warmongers, horrible, horrible people, and they knocked out a building quite precisely, too. So they did that in Damascus, Syria, earlier in the month. And so basically, this is well, I'll get to the next slide. You'll see 170 suicide drones, 120 plus ballistic missiles, 30 plus cruise missiles from Yemen, Iran, Iraq, and Syria all approached Israel's airspace. We've never seen anything like this before. And we'll give you the backstory. This is amazing, but I want you to be able to see things like Esau and Amalek and Agag and Gog versus Israel and ultimately against God. But keep in mind, 99% were intercepted. And so that's an amazing feat. So obviously, our prayers mattered. And the other thing that I'll be discussing all night long is we are the Esthers of this end time story. We need to do intercessory prayer for Israel and that God's will be done. And so it's really, really going to be critical. So there we go. And so in this case, this is maybe as disgusting as I can get. But in the first case, going back to the first Purim story, King Ahasuerus approved Haman's Jewish plan to kill off all the Jews. Well, in this case, Obama, O'Biden, we'll call it, O'Biden approved the Iranian attack. Yeah, behind the scenes. So you know that then Esther worked on King Ahasuerus to say, hey, allow us to fight back, allow us to arm ourselves and fight. And that's what occurred. Well, in this case, Biden, Biden approved the attack. So this is from Reuters. On Sunday, Reuters cited a Turkish diplomatic source speaking on condition of anonymity as saying that the Turkish foreign minister Hakan Fidan had spoken to both U.S. and Iranian counterparts in the past week to discuss the planned Iranian attack on Israel. Yeah, our kings of the United States allowed the attack to occur. Didn't say anything like, no, you can't do that. Israel's our friend. Well, no, that didn't occur. So the bottom line is that you've got the same story playing out time and time again. So I'll show you the original story from Purim, but basically, in this case, our kings did the same thing that King Ahasuerus did, okay? And so there's the Reuters story on the right-hand side. And so Israel is vowing a response to this, but they're not doing anything right away. Why? Because they want the right response, because really they want to knock out the nuclear ability of Iran. So we're watching that play out. And so I don't know how the Iran, or the Medo-Persia war against Israel went when Hermon was alive, but it didn't end in one day. It was a war that took a while. And so this one could take a while again, too. So the main thing is on your side, as I mentioned, you're intercessors, you're the Esthers, you're involved in the storyline. Esther had to go confront her king and ask for mercy. You're going to have to ask your God, the maker of heaven and earth. He will not let your foot slip. Your guardian is not asleep. No, the guardian of Israel never slumbers or sleeps. So that's Psalm 121, 2-4. So if you're praying and God is working, we'll be safe. We'll get through this. Okay? So as I've been stating now for a few weeks, this is all based on Purim. The eclipses have really matter. They have a meaning. And so this is from Supernatural by Design. I'm blanking on the name of the guy, but we will have eclipses in 2024, during Purim. And it was not a blood moon eclipse, but it was an eclipse. And then an eclipse in 2025 and 2026, all on Purim. And the word that I'll be using all night is Purim Fest. And you'll see the meaning as we move to 1946. It's an interesting story. And even if you only get that out of this meeting tonight, I think it's pretty big. And it's the fight of Jacob and Esau. So just keep that in mind. So going forward, I'm a big fan of Mark Biltz. He jumped on a TV show with Janie Duvall just the other day here and said, I prophesied war for April of 2024 and literally prophesied it for Nissan 3. Oh, hey, Scott, welcome to the show. Hi, Scott.
Hey, listen, Joel, real quick. We clicked Doug Roman's passage when you went live.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, we're gonna stop the show. This one, which is scheduled for the on Romans.
Oh no, I hit the wrong show.
Yeah. So if you would stop this show, enter the studio on the other one, and any